I'm jacked to the test!
Looks as good as on paper. We're in the kill zone, pal. We're locked and loaded.
Hi there guys and girls, welcome back into another session just coming up towards the European London Open on this beautiful Monday. I want to take an unbiased look at some Bitcoin and crypto data today. Obviously emotions running hot from the drawdown at the weekend. I actually think Bitcoin is still looking good, to be honest. I can appreciate alts took a larger hit, especially if you were dancing with the devil and playing with some high leverage on altcoins. They took a big hit, unless you were short, of course, and then you got rewarded. But yeah, just want to jump in, review where we are on the charts and have a look at some pure raw data with the TRDR console as well. Okay, so let's have a quick review of the range. We're basically at the top of the range last week. Would have been nice to flip this area. It just wasn't to be. If you were following along in any of the TRDR socials, a few of the guys were posting, you know, spot liquidity was very high up here as well. And we just didn't see any follow through bid to get that push up towards the end of the week as well. You know, geopolitical situations aside, there was just no follow through bid here. What do we do in a price auction? We need to go and find a bid. Okay, so we dropped back down, obviously. This was just on Saturday, I believe, and you know, at this point I think there was a lot of panic and fear in the market, and I get it, I do understand it, but you know, if you're used to these kind of price auctions and you know, these kind of situations that can happen, especially in the crypto market now and again, you know, you need to embrace these opportunities and just, you know, risk off a little bit and wait for the situations where you can get a little bit more risk on. Okay, so at this point we're coming down into the range lows. There was still some levels lower and we're basically looking at auctioning the value area lows of the range, which is down here. Eventually got that. I wasn't really particularly watching the price action too much over the weekend. One thing to note is when I woke up Sunday was that we're right into this value area low. Obviously, yes, nice big drop here on Bitcoin, but on a higher time frame, 4 hour and above, all very constructive, to be honest. You've swept some lows, you've caught a bid, as we can see in the B2C diamond here in that 60k level, and you're still just at the value area lows of a 4 hour range. Okay, and we are actually just pushing back up now, but we will go check some data. Something of note as well that I was a little bit late to reviewing this Sunday, but if you're familiar with the Liquidity King template, go and watch this tutorial on YouTube if you're not. But liquidity in the order book's absolutely nuked. So you can see from the top there, basically the spot was getting a little bit overheated. There was a lot of contracts obviously in the books trying to just maybe close out a little bit of position in there. Perps wasn't too bad. But as we can see now, liquidity in the books absolutely flush. So perps contracts absolutely flushed out the order box. Spot orders have absolutely been cleansed as well. As open interest comes down and we've hit some big liquidations. So what we always surmise from these situations is prepare for a bit of risk exposure. Okay, so liquidity absolutely nuked. Prepare for a little bit of risk exposure. So what we'll do is we'll go and have a look at just some levels, classic levels in the TradeView charts, and then we'll jump into the TRDR console. So if we just have a quick look, a little bit of a green market today. You know, you could almost call this a bit of a liquidation bounce, really. I mean, they are just, you know, a lot of these coins are going to be quite corrective and just bounce back. Okay, daily chart on Bitcoin, you know, there's nothing wrong here. This looks good, to be honest. You know, no panic situations. You've broken no higher time frame structures whatsoever. You've come down, you've topped this, you know, tapped this daily order block that's been sitting here waiting to get tapped since the 20th of March, and you're getting a bounce. You're gonna be sat under some slight resistance now. So yes, we're looking for a bit of risk on exposure. It doesn't mean up the leverage button and jump in everything now. Okay, you're going to have to be selective. You're going to have to be good with your execution. Use the order flow on the TRDR console. Grab a link from below if you've not used it before. Get familiar with it. Okay, jump in the socials with us and we can help you out there. But yeah, all looking constructive. Daily order block tapped right at the bottom here. Let's have a look at the 4 hour range. You know, if you're familiar with my my thesis anyway. I do love a range, but yeah, we are, you can say you've effectively broken the trend here, and we are going to be trading under this point of control here. We are going to be trading under resistance. It might take a little bit of time just to pull up and get a bit of momentum back, but constructively, going back from the 1st of March, for our range, auction in the bottom, we've got a B2C diamond at the lows, liquidity is newt, risk on exposure. Okay, so 4 hour, even a 4 hour looks quite good. That's all I want to stress, really. Appreciate alts will look a little bit worse. Not all of them. I actually do think some of them still look pretty good. Hourly on Bitcoin tapped all these 1 hour order blocks and we're just pushing up. But yeah, I can imagine we do just come up and find some resistance in this late 67 to 68k region. Okay, but we'll go and have a look at the order flow in a second. One other asset I did just want to have a look at because I thought it looked really, really good, and actually surprised me, to be honest, that we were looking at this asset last week. If you remember last week's video, okay, we were looking at Sol and this almost kind of bit of a dubious funnel that we've got going on here. Okay, Perps market on Sol did actually come right down and wick right below here and hit that kind of like 114 level, but I think the spot market actually just held these levels in this 125 to 130 135 level. Okay, so last week's video we said it'd be really nice if Sol could come down and meet some of these levels. Initially, obviously, looking at this kind of like 160, 165 level, and we mentioned that obviously it's gonna take something a little bit special to get down and hit this kind of 135 region, and maybe it doesn't do it all in one clip. Subsequently, over the weekend, we've come down, smashed that level, and we're rotating back up now, so it looks pretty good. Can the devs get a neck wet patch in and speed up some of those transactions for everyone? Yeah, let's hope so. Okay, so yeah, all very constructive, to be honest. Don't up the leverage straight away, especially if you're on all altcoins. Give it a little bit of time because I think you could still chop out these areas. But let's jump into the TRDR console and grab some data and see what we can see going on there. Right, so here we are, guys, just on the multiverse again. This is just a standard chart I always have open because I'm just watching ETH as usual. Bitcoin, obviously, Sol moving up from those lower levels. As I say, I don't think, yeah, so the perpetuals on Solana. Oh, that's Spot, actually. So Spot did wick down there quite heavily. Okay, so yeah, right past that 135 level. But yeah, I think it was definitely a risk on trade if anyone was good enough to execute down there. I certainly wasn't because it was a Saturday night. Okay, but if anyone was awake, you absolute degenerates. Yeah, good risk on where to see things, to be honest. And AVAC's pushing up now, but yeah, just hitting a slight bit of supply. So let's just go and have a look at the order book depth on Big Dog Bitcoin. Let's just go to a 15-minute chart and have a look at Bitcoin then. Okay, so this is our range that we were just looking at a second ago. Value area lows. We've auctioned the value area lows. We hit a B2C diamond here, okay, just above 60k, and then we've hit another group spot here at 62.1 as a top level comes up and defends that zone. One thing to be said is that the aggregated depth is not amazing here. We're building into those kind of, if you can just see on the right hand side here, those kind of 400 million aggregated depth levels. It could be a little bit better, to be honest, but are a lot of people already in the market from a lot lower and just happy to hold positions? Maybe so, we'll have to see. Right here, right now, okay, so we've bounced back into this value area low here, and we're just holding it, as you can see here, so a nice technical level. I'll go show you that on a 4-hour chart again in a second. No real depth follow through just now, so that's what I mean. I think you could still chop out this area. Maybe you even come down and double bottom this 60k zone again for ultimate confirmation. What would we look for if we did do that? I'd certainly look for some bull divs in the volume and stuff. But as we can see, I won't flick through all the charts and the overlays, but as we can see right now, not much edge really, to be honest. Spot have filled down here, and these guys are obviously just quite happy to hold up there. So yeah, Coinbase have filled, Kraken have filled down there as well. Let's have a quick look at Qcoin. Yeah, Qcoin filled here. These guys are quite often on the right side of the market. So Qcoin double bands there. That's this little green overlay layer here. And this one here. Okay, so these guys have filled very nice. Just to highlight as well, These are not repainting like you would see on TradingView from some of your dirty Schiller indicators. Okay, this is pure raw data, bid and ask. All right, so very nice chart actually. Again, you know, we were looking at this from Qcoin last week. Very nice chart. Capped the top with their offers at the top there. They were selling into this region as well at 70k. Come down a little bit of early bid there. Those guys got punished, but it is a spot market, so quite happy obviously just to hold there. Come down, fill some more bid, and away we go. Okay. So looking at the perps chart, again, perps chart traders, perps wicked very low, just wicked perps obviously does often kind of like, can just wick a little bit lower and grab that liquidity. So perps actually wicked under 60k, so that's interesting to see. These guys filling a bit more bid now, and you can see some dynamic levels coming in to fill there. Okay, but yeah, as I say, if we do come down for a little bit of a double bottom or the like, what did we look for? If we do rotate back down again, just watch for the bigger players to hold their positions as open interest stays pretty chilled out. Okay, look for volume divs if we do come back into any of these levels. Okay, quick look at liquidity while I'm on 4-hour basis. Come down. This is our range, okay guys, so liquidity alert here, just warning that liquidity in the books is dropping, wipe out of the books. And what can we see? Absolutely nuked. So yeah, a couple of the guys posted this early Sunday, just reminding everyone that we've nuked the books. It can tend to be a little bit bullish. And yeah, that we can, you know, look, not immediately, but look to get some risk on exposure. 4-hour basis as well. Liquidations, open interest, absolutely nuked there as well. Let's just go and have a look at the daily ratio where I can just see a little bit of a broader picture on the overall depth. So yeah, overall depth that we've got here. So not the best we've seen, obviously, back there in that 61k area previously. Ultimate depth, we were well over 1 billion. We're just tickling that kind of 400 million depth at the minute there. It'd be nice to see if you do get any rotations back down. It'd be nice to just see this depth build up, okay? So just keep an eye out for that as well. Also see funding very chilled at the lows there, all right? So yeah, again, just to highlight, nice constructive. Let me just go to our spot chart here because I've got the levels marked out. Nice constructive range, value area low, POC just above there, protecting price, just tickling that 67.5 to 68k region, I would say. Not sure we get right up to the value area highs at the minute, especially looking at the bid. You want a bit more follow through bid. Look for them USDT levels to come up and support price. All right. Right, let's just go and have a quick look at the OBC then and see what we've got above us. Okay, so current price 65, 6-ish there. Yeah, you're going to see this. So you've filled a load of bid at the lows. Okay, you've wicked a load of bid, not much to see there. You know, you're going to have to go and fill some of these offers and then see what intention these guys have got. Are they going to start to defend price? Okay, are they going to start to defend this zone? And then we do rotate back down. Okay, if we do rotate back down, you know what to look for. Look for them volume divs, but go from there. All right, guys. So yeah, you're probably gonna get a lot of offers above. If anyone's not used to trading a range like this as well, they're probably going to be shitting themselves, to be honest. And they don't have the data we have. Okay, they're not looking at the liquidity and seeing that we've absolutely nuked, and we want to be looking for a little bit of risk and the like. So yeah, let's see what we get today. Could be a little bit of a choppy day after such a move like this. Tends to be that price needs to auction this area a little bit further. But yeah, keep an eye on your altcoins. Don't up the leverage too much, okay? Just keep it turned down a little bit, all right? And let's see if we get some further bounces in Bitcoin, Solana, AVAX, and some of the bigger assets. And see if we can get rewarded from this low liquidity environment. All right, guys. Speak soon.
It's a wazzy, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.